Now, Nigeria has officially handed over legal control of 15 state-owned electricity companies to their new owners, no doubt accelerating the reform following compliances and successes at different stages, with an indication of a possible shift from reformation to regulation. For more on Nigerian power sector privatization is Minos Jerikaras, Head of Trade Finance at Rand Merchant Bank. Minos, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, the road to privatization has been a long one. This issue has been a Nigerian focus for well over a decade now. What does this handover mean for the ordinary Nigerian?
Well, as you mentioned, it's been such a long time coming that it's such a great news story. I mean, we're really starting to see some traction in this finally, given all the noise for so long. For the man on the street, it's nothing immediately, but it does signal both government and private sectors change to now driving the sector domestically.
What should the investor be reading from this, sitting on the sidelines, possibly with an interest in Nigeria?
Well, there's going to be huge opportunities for investment in the sector. Whilst this is the transfer of the current infrastructure, a lot of that infrastructure is very old and needs overhauls. So there would be opportunities for investors to come in either through a bond program or through directly financing some of the projects.
I mean, earlier I was just having a chat, as I was telling you, with around SADC and energy issues there, and it came out from this particular region that 56 days out of a 365-day year are actually lost because of power outages. And we know that the stats get much worse as you go further north in the country. But we're hoping that the situation is likely going to turn around in the back of this handover. How can this change the ease of doing business in Nigeria?
I think in some respects different to SADC, in that in SADC we've had a consistent power supply for a long time. Whilst there have been interruptions and capacity constraints, it has been relatively consistent. In Nigeria and large parts of the rest of the continent, there has been contingencies in place. So outside every building or outside every ATM or outside every base station for a mobile phone, there's a generator that automatically clicks over when the power dips. So I think they don't experience as much of a drop in capacity.
But they probably do see higher costs of doing business because of the backup that they have to have.
Massively, in that, and that's escalated over time because the majority of these generators are diesel fired. So all that needs to be imported, as even though the market has a huge amount of natural crude resource,
right,
as we've discussed in the past, that's all being exported for refinement and then being re-imported to fire these generators.
Of course, we know that the privatization process in Nigeria has attracted a lot of foreign players that have come in, and you've seen the Tata Powers coming in other big players. Are local players visible?
They are indeed, and it's been very encouraging to see local players sticking up their hand and taking big shares of this. Clearly, this was a highly political element as well, in that people have made billions off the import of fuel. So the status quo actually suited certain minorities, but taking a bigger interest of the country at large, Nigerians have certainly invested in this privatization.
Of course, there's the target that the government has set for itself, 20,000 megawatts by 2020. And a lot of criticism has come and said that this is perhaps unrealistic. What's your view?
I think it's not altogether unrealistic. It is coming off a low base. We see current commercial production at just over 3,000 megawatts, but there are all the benefits of the natural supply. There's huge amounts of natural gas. The infrastructure is there.
Minos, the natural gas reserves, are they being harnessed to their full potential?
No, I mean, frankly, it's largely being exported, and it's firing the electricity projects in Ghana at the moment. So to see that in country, and there are certainly gas-fired turbine projects underway, which will be completed in the next couple of years.
Of course, a lot of the positive developments in the energy sector in Nigeria is going to be on the back of infrastructure. What is the state of infrastructure as we move forward?
It's off a low base, but I think what's again encouraging and what makes this such a great news story, you can have roads, you can have rail, you can have great ports, but you need electricity to fire the economy, and you need the manufacturing capacity in country, and that's all driven by regular great electricity supply.
Are there investment opportunities for players who perhaps want to come in and look at brownfield projects around the energy infrastructure? Is the Nigerian government looking at expanding and refurbishing and that kind of work?
Well, I think the privatization is the first step in that, and clearly the new operators would bring in expertise and look potentially for new money to come in and refurbish those plants. So yeah, certainly there would be opportunities.